since President Bush took office, the cost of energy has gone up. And today in Pennsylvania, the average Pennsylvanian spends $2,000 more on energy than they did when President Bush became president. And like the rest of the country, the typical family has $1,000 less in income. So with average gas prices going up and with station owners like Jay between the oil companies and their customers, something has to give. And what gives is, as Janice said, she and her husband just don't drive as much. They're cutting back. That has an impact on the whole economy. So too little, too late is not an economic strategy, but that seems to be the best that President Bush can offer. And right now, Dick Cheney is traveling around the Middle East, warning his friends in the oil-producing companies and in the oil companies, be careful, if you don't produce more oil, America might become energy independent. Well, that's exactly what we have to become. We have to move toward energy independence in order to have control over our own destiny and to get the prices down. And I think it's time that we recognize that this has got to be one of the highest priorities for our nation. And I believe that I have a better plan and a better record when it comes to whom you can count on to actually tackle these high energy prices. You know, Senator Obama and Senator McCain talk a lot about taking on the special interests, but Senator Obama voted for Dick Cheney's energy bill in 2005 that had billions of dollars in giveaways to the oil companies and others. And Senator McCain is offering more of the same with $4 billion more in tax breaks to the oil companies. So when you look past the words and actually examine their deeds, both Senator Obama and Senator McCain have sided with Dick Cheney and with big oil. See, I think there's a better way to go. I voted against that 2005 energy bill because I believed that it would lead to higher prices. And I have been putting forth plans that would require the oil companies to give up their tax subsidies and put that money into a strategic energy fund that would be used to finance alternative, clean, renewable energy. And I've also advocated for a windfall profits tax on the oil companies. I think it is time. You cannot convince me that there is not a lot of excess in those profits. When ExxonMobil, just one company, makes $40 billion in profits last year, I think that, deserves to have government investigating it and looking very closely. That's why I've also advocated for a number of years that we give more power to government agencies like the Federal Trade Commission to examine why the gas prices and the oil prices are so high. Clearly, what is going on deserves further scrutiny. A lot of it doesn't make sense to me, to be just blunt about it. The prices kind of go up without any connection to anything else going on. And I believe we should have a much more vigorous investigation into the price of energy. Certainly gas, but also home heating oil and everything else. As Jay was saying, home heating oil is unrefined gas. It should be cheaper. I mean, why is its price going up the way that it is? I also think it's important that we give more tools to the federal government when it comes to price gouging. The wholesalers and the distributors basically set the price. People like Jay, who are kind of at the end of the supply chain, have to take what they are given. I think we should have much more in the way of federal tools to investigate that. I would also advocate that we quit putting oil into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. The Strategic Petroleum Reserve is about 97% full. The government should not be buying oil at this high price. In fact, I would even consider, were I president, releasing some of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve into the marketplace to drive down the price.